Spring greetings, Villa Duchesne and Oak Hill School. I'm Christina Sukenick filling in for Lucy Musial.
And I'm Malia Touche. Welcome to Tower News Network and another news-packed broadcast from Period 8 Media Arts.
We hope you all had a fun and safe spring break. Today the broadcast will feature sport updates, hard news, upcoming Villa events, entertainment, and a new face-off segment with Brooke Citron and Catherine Farrell.
We are starting off with entertainment news with our own Stephanie Anderson.
After months of dreary winter weather, all of us are anxious for the coming of spring and for the eventual arrival of the fun and excitement of summer. These warmer seasons also bring exciting new movies. One anticipated film is Mother's Day, which stars Jennifer Aniston, Kate Hudson, and Julia Roberts. This will be a fun movie to see and enjoy with your mom on Mother's Day. The Jungle Book is a big movie a lot of people are talking about. This is not an animated version, but a real-life version of the classic movie, which was originally made in 1967. Ellen DeGeneres reprises her role as the famously forgetful fish in the Pixar sequel to 2003's Finding Nemo, as she tries to find her own parents. Sony's reboot of the 1984 Ghostbusters film puts the proton packs and particle throwers into the hands of Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon. Chris Hemsworth and Michael Kenneth Williams also stars in this Paul Feig comedy. Even though this season is over, The Bachelor dominated the hearts and minds of most Villa girls. Ben Higgins proved to be the most popular bachelor ever, even though his proposal to Lauren Bushnell was disappointing to some. The obvious choice was JoJo Fletcher, who will now go on to be the next Bachelorette on May 23rd. Monday nights will remain the big night for summer TV watching.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Now over to Abby with sports and all you need to know about basketball and March Madness.
When the month of March comes along, millions of people across America create brackets for the annual NCAA college basketball tournament known as March Madness. To create a bracket, people must try to predict the outcome of all the tournament's 67 games while keeping in mind the possibility of upsets. And this year, around 70 million brackets were created. While this number changes depending on the source, it is said that the odds of predicting a perfect bracket are 1 in 128 billion. Due to these unlikely odds, many people will wager huge amounts of money for anyone who either predicts a perfect bracket or correctly guesses the final 4 teams. It was estimated that collectively $9.2 billion were bet on this year's tournament. Unfortunately, there were no perfect brackets left after the upset of Middle Tennessee beating Michigan State in just the first round. This upset in particular was extremely hard to guess because no one thought a 15 seed would beat a 2nd seed. In the end, it was Villanova who won it all. And now that it's the beginning of April, the excitement of March Madness is over. However, we luckily will not be short of entertainment because the new baseball season is kicking off and the prospects of our very own St. Louis Cardinals are looking very good.
What an unbelievable month of basketball with upsets and surprises. This month of college basketball seems to really capture the interest of almost all Americans.
Now over to Ashley with a more serious report about terrorism in our world and the constant threat from ISIS.
Tragedy struck the city of Brussels on the 22nd of March when suspected ISIS members attacked a main airport terminal and a metro station. The attackers were brothers Khalid and Ibram el-Baraku and have been identified as suicide bombers at the metro station and airport respectively. The 2 Belgians were already being sought out by police due to suspected links to the November terror attacks in Paris. Belgian media retracted an earlier report that a 3rd suspect had been arrested in the Brussels suburb of Anderlecht after a major manhunt. The latest official death toll stands at 35. Up to 270 people were injured. Evil continued to linger into the Easter weekend when members of ISIS attacked a nursing home for Catholic clergy members, shooting 4 nuns dead and kidnapping a Catholic priest. Threats sprang out of a plan to crucify this father on Good Friday. The details of the fate of this man are still unknown. More news to come.
The threat of terrorism is baffling and frightening. Keeping up and being informed is essential for everyone.
Now we follow Christina, who will fill you in about upcoming Villa events.
As the school year reaches the final stretch, the calendar is filled with school events. On Saturday, the 2nd of April, Villa girls from grades 7 to 12 attended father-daughter at the Ritz-Carlton. On April 9th, juniors and seniors danced it up at the Magic House for the Gatsby-themed prom. April 12th was a very exciting day for the juniors because they received their class rings at the Junior Ring Mass and Ceremony. On April 15th, the seniors will be attending their very first alumni luncheon. Finally, April finishes off with the Spring Spectacular on the 30th. The month of May starts with May crowning on the 3rd. May 6th is the last day of school for the seniors. Finally, May 15th is graduation day, and Maple will take place on the 16th. Villa celebrates the feast day of St. Malin and Sophie on the 27th, as well as Pride's Day for grades 7 through 11.
Villa is a busy place in the springtime. Many traditions and events dominate the end of the school year.
Next up is Lauren Jager with an in-depth report about privacy in the media.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. The list of social media apps and programs goes on and has created open windows into many people's lives. Most of these apps were created to connect and to share photos with friends and family, yet as these apps have developed, they have acquired different uses, good and bad. One of the good uses is being able to join groups on Facebook. However, these same apps have created unsafe access to users' personal information. This has given anyone the freedom to stalk others and find information that could potentially exist from 10 years ago. Unless a lawsuit occurs, stalking is extremely easy for one to carry out and to cause harm, yet there are hardly any lawful limitations. Because of the First Amendment, many news sources and outlets have taken this freedom to the extreme and have pushed the limits of just how much freedom the press should actually have. Paparazzi, gossip magazines, and websites such as TMZ are constantly stalking celebrities. Some of these online publications have defended their actions by stating they, the celebrities, signed up for this when they wanted to become famous. Unfortunately, the children of these celebrities make this argument invalid. Jennifer Garner and Halle Berry, testifying to Congress in 2013 about how the paparazzi have negatively affected their children, successfully supported a bill which eventually passed. Even though this bill did pass, it only applied to the state of California. Ultimately, the wide use of social media will remain a point of focus for users well into the future. More seriously, laws like the one in California controlling the paparazzi must be enacted in all 50 states. The First Amendment must be treasured and cherished.
Lauren reminds us all that the First Amendment should never be used to allow harassment of famous people or average citizens.
And last but truly not least, Brooke and Catherine will face off about gun control.
Although most individuals against gun control believe it would contradict the Second Amendment, which states, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed," is true. It seems that gun ownership creates more crime and harm rather than self-protection in America. Whether people own a gun for self-defense and safety reasons or for hunting, there are 283 million gun owners in the United States. In addition, there are over 30,000 lives lost as a result of the liberal gun laws. In comparison to other countries, such as Japan with a recorded loss of less than 50 lives, and Germany with a recorded loss of less than 150 lives, it is evident that America is way above average, which is frightening. Most people associate a need for gun control solely in areas of mass murders. For example, the horrific tragedy of the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012 reminds people of the urgent need for stronger gun control laws. Moreover, there are 30 people shot and killed in America every day as a result of the leniency of gun possession. If people want to own a gun for sport or hunting, there are ranges and controlled environments, making it safe for everyone. Obviously, gun ownership must be controlled and restricted in the United States today. Can we really justify the loss of 26 elementary students again?
The Second Amendment clearly states that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Guns are used in many different ways around the United States, for hunting, for the military, and for self-protection. Many Americans believe that the loss of the Second Amendment will result in less violence. However, losing the right to bear arms may not produce the desired effect. Guns were banned in the United Kingdom in 1997. This was a result of a shooting in an elementary school in 1996. When the shooting took place, the murder rate was 1.12 per 100,000 people, But surprisingly, after the ban, the rate grew to 2.1 per 100,000 people. The United States has existing laws in place to eliminate the violence caused by guns. Many locations that attract mass shooters, such as schools, have a strict rule against guns. Even if the laws are stronger and more comprehensive, the criminals will still find a way to access weapons and to use them. Few mass murderers rarely follow the law when planning these horrific events. In the late 1920s, alcohol was banned in the United States, but people still drank in large quantities, even sneaking into hidden bars and clubs. It would almost be impossible to eliminate all guns in the United States. However, it is still possible to create a violence-free society without banning guns.
Thanks so much, Brooke and Catherine. Gun control is a topic that continues to dominate our lives.
Once again, I'm Christina Sukenik.
I'm Lily Touche, and that ends another broadcast from Tower News Network. Stay tuned for the seniors' final broadcast coming in May.
Let's